back to the channel. Today I want to do a short project video where we're going to use BeautifulSoup and the Python request library to start interacting with Instagram. Let's get started. For this example, we'll use this post from python.learning, and what it is a cheat sheet for get commands. It's good information, however it's very difficult to read. That's because Instagram downsizes it for its platforms. Let's look at how we can interact with this website using BeautifulSoup and the Python request library to pull this image full size. The first thing we need to do is to look at the page source. So right click and view page source. We'll use the find command, so Command F for me on a Mac, and then we'll say OG image. We see that the original image is stored here. We have a meta property tag with OG image, and then we have the content right next to it. So let's go ahead and copy this and paste it into a new tab. When we paste it, we see that there's a much larger image that's a lot easier to read. But let's see how we can do this with Python. So we'll open up a Python script. First, let's import the packages that we'll be using. Let's import the request library. Then from BS4, we'll import BeautifulSoup. And then we'll also import the web browser package as well. What these two libraries allow us to do is to start interacting with the website pages and pulling data from those website pages into our Python scripts. All we need to do is to pass a URL to the request library, and we can get all the information from that web page in our Python script. Once we get the location of the full-size image from the request library in BeautifulSoup, we'll pass it to our web browser module. That way we can open it in a new tab. First, let's set the URL of this post. So we'll say URL is equal to, we'll go over and copy this and paste it here. And now to get the information from this website, all we need to do is to set a variable that we want that information to be equal to, and then say requests.get, and then pass in that URL. So this is telling this library to go to this URL and get all the information. However, when we go and get that information, it won't look too pretty to us, and we'll need a second package to interpret it. That's where BeautifulSoup comes in. So now we need to say soup is equal to BeautifulSoup, and then we'll say response, and then we want it as a text. So here we're using the BeautifulSoup library to change the response to something that is a little bit easier to understand and read. Now that we have all that information in an easily readable format, let's look through it to find the original image. We'll drop down and say our image will be equal to soup.find. We're looking for a meta tag, so we'll say meta, and the specific meta tag that we want is the one where property is equal to OG image. Once we find this tag, there's a little bit more information in it, so we need to be able to pull out the link to the original image. Let's do that now. So we'll say image URL is equal to image, we'll use square brackets, and then content. So throughout the script, we're narrowing down the specific information that we want. We started off by getting the full information from the web page and then changing it into something that looks a little nicer. Then we look farther and find all tags with meta, and then we narrow it down to only the ones with property equal to OG image. Once we got the specific tag, we look for the content of that tag. Now that we have this URL for the original image, let's pass it to our web browser so we can open it up in a new tab. We'll say webbrowser.open. We'll pass in that image URL. We'll say new is equal to 0, so it goes into another tab within the same window. And then we'll say autoraise is equal to true. We'll open up a command prompt or a terminal and type in Python 3 Instagram image.py. When we execute, we should be given a new tab that has the full-size image that we saw before, which is exactly the result that we get. I wanted this video to be a very simple intro in how we could start using BeautifulSoup and the request library in our Python scripts. If you have any questions, as always, please let me know. Until next time.